So I was just reading this funny thing about people smoking cigarettes dipped in embalming fluid to get high. I know this is like got no bearing on anything I do on this channel, but I don't know. I just thought that was absolutely hilarious that people do that. I don't know. I mean, when I think of embalming fluid and formaldehyde, I think of fucking probably Return of the Living Dead or something like that, and I think of that yellow guy, that yellow corpse guy running around. That guy's a legend.
Oh! Be brave, Frank! God damn it! Four left. 10 right. Get him off, Frank!
I didn't want to record a video just for the sake of making another video, getting some content out there. And that's the problem with YouTube, is that it's so heavy on the pushing the content out there. It emphasizes just mindlessly pushing out content to people. And I'm not the biggest fan of that. If I'm not trying to say something, if I don't have something to say, I don't believe in just mindlessly pushing content out there. But there comes a point where your channel does start taking some hits simply because you are not releasing content. So it's in a creator's best interest to release content, to speak their minds about certain things. And I just thought I would speak my mind here. Recently, I just got back to, my hometown from going to Melbourne with an absolute legend of a bloke. And we went to some live music, and that was just an incredible experience. I may put some of that right here. I may just put a clip right here because it will be in 4K, so you'll be able to see it. I mean, it's not going to look as good as this does, but you get the idea.
Yo, I just want to say, thank you guys for fucking keeping death metal alive. Thank you for going out to fucking shows and supporting the fucking scene here. Make some noise for Delaquest, who opened this shit up. I want to give this song out to them. It's about ripping someone's face the fuck off. It's called Face Ripped Off.
So that's what opening up the can of weapons feels like.
If you see someone standing still,
He just don't know
move
what
back.
Anyways, we had some amazing conversations, and it's got me thinking about how important it is to actually talk to people. And nowadays, with there being such a disconnect between people, and I sort of touched on this briefly in one of the previous talking videos that I did, we are at this point right now where we can communicate, by typing, by texting, doesn't really matter. We're communicating, but we're not face-to-face communicating. And simply just sitting down and talking to your boy, talking to your boys, how important is that? And nowadays, we have this thing where we use texting. We use these, text communications simply as a way to fill a gap in between not actually physically talking to somebody face to face. And in some regards, it is good that we do live in a world where we can communicate that way. But communication is largely non-verbal. It's more than just what you say with your words. It is about body language. It's about looking at people's facial expressions. Communication is so much more than just the words you say. It's as much about what you don't say as it is about what you do say. And we lose sight of that nowadays. We lose sight of the fact that human interaction is supposed to be face to face. Now, granted, we've got friends, family members, scattered to the four winds, scattered across the earth. And that's just a part of life nowadays. But I would emphasize to you people to get out there and actually talk to people, talk to your mates, go out and talk to people in person, because there's nothing better than having some great conversations in person. It's actually amazing how good you can feel about things, how good you can feel about the world when you've had a good night, when you've had some good discussions, you've listened to some good music, and just doing those things, getting out into the world, getting out into the wilds again. That's so important. I think people forget how effective just talking to people in person really is. Like when you're out to a show, when you're out to a gig, for example, and you're just commenting on people wearing like band shirts, for example, for bands that you love, that you listen to, man, even when somebody comes up to you and recognizes the band shirt that you're wearing, even though the logo is virtually illegible, people recognize the logo, people recognize the shape, and they comment on the shirt that you're wearing, and it just makes you feel good. It's being part of a community. And I guess what I'm trying to say here is that being part of a solid community is so important. It's just like how I've mentioned on this channel before, how important it is to be part of a community. It doesn't matter even if the community is relatively small. Like, I live in a small town. It's not a big place, but everybody knows everybody, and at times that can be a negative. At times, for the most part, being somewhere where people actually know you and you can see them down the shops and you can say g'day to them and whatever, that's a really underrated, underappreciated feeling. And living in the city, living down in the cities, you don't really get that so much. I mean, sure, if you go to a cafe, if you go there enough times, eventually they'll recognize you. But, I lived in Melbourne for a long time, and that happens far less than it does down here in the small towns. And talking to your mates, being part of a good community, you can eliminate a lot of the problems in your life by just talking to people and being part of a good, solid community, having a good friends group, having someone that you can just have a yarn to. I can't express enough how important that is. So my challenge to you folks here that are watching this, that get to this part of the video, is if you see somebody around that you don't normally talk to, say g'day to them, ask them how they're going, because I can guarantee you'll make their day. They'll feel like $1 million. They'll feel like people actually care about them, and that's actually pretty important. So thanks for watching this little video. I mean, it means a lot to me that you guys still watch these videos, and even if I'm not doing the fragrance stuff as much anymore, I still think there's a lot of value in just talking to you guys one-on-one like this. We're not having a physical conversation with one another, but until we can, this is good enough for me. Anyways, my name is Aussie Marcel. I hope everyone here has an excellent day. Be good to one another, and until the next video, I'll catch you guys around.